All right. We live. All right. So you guys, welcome to the Power of Ownership podcast. This is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210, aka the coldest loan officer on the planet. We're coming to um on the podcast live today. Real quickly, I want to get across a good message real fast, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Maybe 20 minutes here. So let's go ahead and introduce the show. Let's go ahead and promote real quickly. We're not going to keep you too long. And we're going to be live on the Power of Ownership podcast for the next maybe a couple episodes till we work out a few kinks, you know what I'm saying, as far as editing. So we're going to go live here for a couple of episodes, and I'm going to give it to you like I, usually come. And also we're going to be on Spotify as well, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple podcast. So I'm calling this Social Media Sundays now. So social media, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that on Sundays, every Sunday until we work the kinks out. All right, so let's go ahead and get the show started. Again, my name is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210, at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Let's go ahead and introduce my website. It's www.applywithb.com. If you want to go ahead and apply for a mortgage, don't forget I'm a mortgage broker by trade. Also an actual serial entrepreneur, real estate investor, published author, so on and so forth. My book, Sales the Nucleus in the Profession, is out right now. Amazon, get you a copy of that. So, if you want to learn how to sell and learn how to do high-end sales, which is going to be a skill that you're probably going to need this year. So go get my book, Sales the Nucleus in the Profession. It's out right now. At Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media, like I said before. If you're trying to get a brand new condo or a resale condo, townhouse or high rise, go to my website, www.houstonCondoSales.com. For Houstonians, by Houstonians, has all the latest listings for condos. Go ahead, test me. You like everybody wants the actual best rates. Why pay more? I don't get this thing about the personalities and stuff like that, but it's cool that somebody works for a bank, but it's all about, are they going to help you pay that bill when it's due? Why not get the best rate? What's today's rates.com? We guarantee you have the best rates. Test mine against your bankers. Test mine against your credit union. What's today's rates.com? Go and log in there, start your account, and you can test my rates every day if you want. Knock yourself out. YouTube, again, at Billionaire Loan Officer. We got 3 shows starting this year. Y'all be on the lookout for House Tours, Lux, and Express. That's going to be on YouTube. Behind the Sauce. That's documenting my life, the lifestyle. Also, we're going to be at the Power of Ownership podcast coming to you 4K, and we're going to be coming to you live as well. So a little bit of mixture of both, so go ahead and subscribe to that. Also, don't forget, I am a French Bulldog lover and a American bully lover. Go to my website, Bully Palace, for all your pet accessory needs. BullyPalace.com. It's another one of our websites there. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get it started, man. If this is your first time tuning in to the Power of Ownership podcast, been doing this for now for 6 years, man. Sometimes we took a break for a month or so. I've always brought it back, solo shows, been bringing guest hosts. So we still going to keep evolving and keep on getting better and keep on keeping on. We're going to keep on putting out content and, keep on doing our thing. It just is what it is. So we talk about not only ownership of homes, but ownership of properties, businesses, intellectual properties. Also, we talk about owning the mind, body, and soul, bridging the gap between the seen and the unseen realm. So we talk about that as well. So go ahead, tune in every Sunday. We're going to bring it to you either live or recorded every Sunday. So be on the lookout for that. It's at Billionaire Loan Officer on YouTube. So check that out. All right, so let's get into our monologue for today. Again, I'm not going to keep you too long, maybe 20 minutes or so. F that, man. It's real quick, simple. Happy New Year to you, everybody. Happy 2023. I know everybody's real aspirational now. Everybody is in the I'm gonna get it done this year is gonna be my year type mood. Um, Again, with the Power of Ownership podcast, we're pragmatists over here. We kind of teach you the methodology of how to go about it. And I usually always like to do a positive, especially starting off the year. I want to do a positive show. We did the motivation show on We're Talking Real Estate, and this is the first podcast of this year. So I don't want to start this year on a negative tip, but I want to get something off the chest that's kind of neutral. That it's it could be negative, but I'm gonna spin it to a positive. You know, you're the alchemist, so you always can spin stuff to a positive if you want to, if that's what your desire is, because you can create whichever you want. So let's talk about this, man. Vibes. Is there a place for vibes in business? Do you go by vibes? Do you make decisions about vibes? Do you create the creative vibe? Let's talk about it, and vibes are even more important than ever. I mean, we can get into the science of that because it's the age of Aquarius, and you got a lot of fluidity going, and a lot of stuff that was predominantly feminine is now kind of mainstream. I mean, we could talk about the science about it, but let's get into some of the real granular skills about vibes. I want to start it off with a quote, and I'm gonna hit it from a couple of different angles. If y'all bear with me a second. Deion Sanders is one of my favorite, human beings right now on this planet right now. One of his famous quotes is he said, "Do not let my confidence offend your insecurities." Again, I'm gonna repeat that again. He said, "Do not let my confidence offend your insecurities." I think I mentioned before, I kind of tickled around it because it's one of those third rail topics that a lot of people don't like to talk about. I talked about before on the Power Ownership podcast how, a lot of confident people make insecure people nervous. And a lot of people, and the reason why they're nervous because you remind them of that you should be doing, or they either that or they're not 100% sure of themselves. So they're playing a role, and think you're going to discover that they're playing a role. So that's why they feel a certain way while they're in your presence, and it's hard when people in panic mode they react. The reptilian brain takes over, and it's fight or flight. So they either get bad or trying to run away. So now I used to, as a youth, I used to be cocky and say, "Who cares? Let them run away." However, you do need to be mature, and you can't you can't turn away certain business just because they're not your cup of tea. Doesn't mean that their money don't spend. So I'm gonna dissect this from a couple of different angles. First of all, let me say this. Let me take it from the angle where I'm at right now. I'm to the point in my career where I have choices. I know that's I'm here on forward. I'm not working with certain people. I've made it to a certain point where not where I'm comfortable, where I could be a little bit more selective about who I do business with and who I grace with my presence. But when you're just starting out, you have to be flexible enough. Sometimes you have to bend to win, and not bend over, but bend being flexible enough to win. But however, I've gotten to a point where I paid a little bit of dues, so now I can be a little bit selective of who I do business with. So let me make that disclaimer right now. So I am no longer doing business with weirdos. I mean, as far as business to business. Customers, again, a lot of customers, They are what they are. But as the team builds up, I have somebody that if my personality doesn't fit for you, I have somebody on the team that personality can fit for you. But as far as my personal space and helping people build up their business to business, as far as referral partners and referral business, I think I've earned the right to work with who I feel comfortable with working with. And a lot of weirdos are just gonna get left behind, man. Some people are just weirdos. Some people are not cool. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Some people you just don't mess with. It's not a thing. So my mentor, Mattress Mac, always used to say, if they make your skin crawl, chances are you make their skin crawl. So the feelings are mutual. Vibes are, you can feel it, you can see it. Your body language speaks, louder than words. Sometimes you could, be self-aware. And a lot of hungry salespeople, they don't catch the cues. They don't look at the cues about, knowing the crowd, being able to actual scan the people that you're talking to and see if you're their cup of tea. And no matter how, and I've noticed throughout the year, throughout the years, no matter how articulate you are, no matter how you are a certain professional you are, some people you're just not their cup of tea. And I don't look at it as an L for me. I look at it as an L for them. You're missing out on one of the best in the business. You're bad, not mine. So you got to continue being excellent and being the Steph Curry, LeBron James, Tom Brady in your field, and good people will come. So, but you got to work yourself to a point. Now you're just starting off, you get established. Yeah, you have to you don't want to force it, but you got to kind of have the bend to win. However, as you build up, you don't have to be as flexible, but you still want to do business with everybody. That's one of the notes I put down. You still want to be able to work with everybody, but everybody that you work with, you don't have to bless them with your everybody that's out in your field, you don't have to bless them with your presence. You got to realize your work and your value, and everybody's not worth your value. I think this in the Bible, it says, thou should not cast your pearls to swine. Some people are just not worthy of your best, your presence. And a lot of people are just not for you. So I'm not trying to force it anymore. I'm not trying, and what I've chose to do is for the people that do vibe with me, I'll go extra harder instead of trying to please somebody that you'll never please. Because what happens is I've always seen it always works out bad. Whenever, and I think my grandmother used to say that. My grandmother and my grandfather, they always used to say this: never chase behind friends, because never try to make somebody or buy friends. Because what happens is when they do fall out with you, it's gonna wind up bad because they never liked you in the first place. That holds true. Like every time I try to go outside of myself to extend the olive branch, not saying don't make new friends. I'm not saying that friendship isn't some work. However, it has to be. Anytime you go out of your way to try to make somebody comfortable or make somebody be friendly, it usually winds up bad. Most of the time, if it's not a natural thing, if it's not a natural vibe, not a mutual respect, it usually doesn't work out. Not saying that, hey, you might, first impressions is it you're one and done. But however, if you're, 2-3 occasions and you're showing the same thing, it's usually not a good fit. And some people just don't have it. Some people just are stuck in their own way. And I'm not going to try to be the light to get you out of your own way. I'll let whoever you pray to deal with that. So some people are never going to be on that level. Some people don't want to be on that level. But what I've noticed is, a lot of people that are happy, well off, financially stable, are cool. We all automatically vibe. It's the people that's the middle people and the poor people, meaning poor not financially, but poor in spirit and poor in mind. The victims, we that's the ones that I don't have anything in common with. And usually with them, it's not a good match. It's not a good match. But the people that's successful, the people that's you don't have to be rich in the pocket, but you can be rich in spirit, meaning that your attitude transcends your financial where you're at financially. Those people that with the glass half full people, we usually vibe. Some people that stuck in their own way, they're boxing themselves out, compartmentalizing themselves, and um just why try to break through? I'll break through. You watch me on social media and break through that way, and then maybe that'll warm you up. But other than that, why give my pearls to swine? And knowing that I'm valuable and I'm worth beyond the cost of admission. So once you recognize that worth and it's proven, I proved the concept. Boom, there's no more argument. So basically, to wrap up that thought, I'm no longer letting weirdos sit at the cool kid table. Not saying I'm a kid by any stretch. Oh, no, we're not kids, but figuratively speaking, cool kids only at the cool kids table. When you invite the weirdos over to the cool kids table, it usually doesn't wind up good. Figuratively speaking, of course. Again, let's talk about the opposite way. So let's don't let this be an excuse for not being able to work with everybody. You do have to have the ability and the maturity to be able to work with anyone. But however, there's the ones that you're going to bless, though. So you bless the ones that's for you. I'm able to work with everybody. However, the ones that's for me, that's the ones I'm a bless. And there's levels to it. You can't do everything for everybody. You can't please everybody. So you got to pick your crowd. You could be like Mattress Back. I always used to say this. You could be Walmart, or you could be Nordstrom. In between is the debt. So pick where you're going and stick to it. And those that the one again, the people in the middle is the debt, and the people in the middle is the worst because they either want to be, they hadn't decided where they want to go. They want to be either on either side, but they hadn't gotten there yet. So the wannabes, what they do is they act as if they were them, and they overdo it. And when you over exaggerate, you overdo it. That's when the phoniness comes in. So you got to pick a side and be yourself. So, and I'll give you an example. I'll tell you a story. They say facts fade, but stories live forever. People that know me, I had a promo company back in the day. This was a while back. This was probably, I want to say it's 23 now, like 13, 14 years ago. And one of the clients we had was Direct Energy. This is when I first moved back to Houston. And the client wanted us to flyer certain neighborhoods, flyer certain zip codes. So when we flyered like the higher end neighborhoods like River Oaks, never had a problem. Never had a problem. When we flyered the hood, never had a problem. But when we flyered the mid range, like the Bel Airs, the certain neighborhoods that's not really rich or the first generation rich, not the old money, but like just got a job and living well. Those were the ones that gave us all the problem with the calling the police and false accusation. Hey, they got guys looking at my window and stuff like that. And all we do is putting flyers on the door and going to the next neighborhood. But they thought that's how the rich acted, and they didn't. The very filthy rich didn't give a damn about us being in their neighborhood. You know, so they probably don't even come to the door. It was the maid that was at the door or whatever. So it was the mid-range people that were acting over. They were doing the most, as we say in my community. So it's usually the people that the wannabes that overact, that over pretend, you know. So, and usually those are the pretenders, and the pretenders feel inadequate when real people come around, you know, and that's what it is. It just is what it is. So with those, yes, I will take your money. I will. You hire me for a service, I will do it to my best ability. However, with those who are for me, that's the ones I go hard for. That's the ones I'm going to do a little bit above and beyond, because what happens is I'm not exhausting my energy trying to make somebody vibe with me. It's just not. Either you do or you don't. It just is what it is. You know. So that's kind of one of my messages. One of the last messages I want to talk about is, you know, you can't run from it. You know, you're not going to be able to run from people that you don't vibe with. They're going to be everywhere. You just have to take it and learn how to still be a professional. You know, you can't run from it. You got to be mature enough in order to actually be able to be a professional. This is what it is. So, you know, that's one of the things you have to do as far as getting to the next level as far as your business. So a lot of people get stuck in that hump. They only they want to a person they don't vibe with, they automatically shut down, and they're not able to serve them, or not able to create what the normal level of service that they give everybody else. That's where they get in trouble. So you still have to give a level of service that's uncanny, impeccable. But then you have another gear where you go people that mess with you. You know, and nowadays it's harder to get that people that really cut for you. But the people that cut for you, you need to go even harder for. So because everybody not for you. This is what it is. One last thing I want to touch on before I get out of here. Again, I'm at the 20-minute mark. Is it important to create a vibe nowadays? You know, a lot of people talk about the vibe and stuff like that. And yes, it's important. It's very, very important to have, especially nowadays, a theme, a vibe, a feel, a spirit, a what other words come up with it? Something that they're expecting you for, a flavor, should I say? And let the people that like your flavor, it's so big, and you can touch so many people. People that like your flavor come to your flavor. Everybody's not going to like your flavor. You know, look at Al Copeland. He didn't change the flavor of Popeye's chicken because one or two people don't like it. You know, but the majority of people like his chicken. There's some people that don't. That can't discourage you because one or two people don't vibe with you. There's several people that do. You just need to find the people that vibe with you. Your vibe is going to be your tribe. I say that all the time. Your vibe is your tribe. Now with the age of social media, you have to open yourself up more in order to find that vibe. But don't change up your vibe, you know, because to suit one person. It might not be for them. Stick with your vibe. Create your vibe, as long as your vibe is original. Now, if you're trying to copy somebody else's lane, and you know that might not work. But as long as your vibe is original, and the formula works for you, and it makes money, stick with it. You know, that's what I'm doing. That's just, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. This is what it is. Me, the way I am, makes money. Now, not saying that you can't get better. That's another thing I want to clarify. Not saying that you can't adapt and get better and change certain things. However, if it's already making money, you need to make tweaks to make it improvements. Not 180 and go about face somewhere else and give it. That's what a lot of people fall off. They get one person, one naysayer, one detractor, and they want to go to on the whole another route. You never get there like that. One person that's trying to tackle you shouldn't impede you from reaching the goal line. You need to have the whole team trying to drag you down, and you still need to pump the legs until you actually reach the goal. And then if you do get tackled, get up and run the ball again. This is what it is. So again, I'm not going to keep you too long. Let's go ahead and take you out as well. Don't forget, if you're ready for a mortgage, don't let the rush hit you in the door. The best time to hit you in the backside. Don't let and close the door on you. The best time to buy is right now, and I'm not just saying that. I'm serious, because what happens is, if the rates dip down this summer like they predicted to, or even let's say the fourth quarter, like Fannie and Freddie said that it would, everybody's going to be lined up to buy again. Then what's going to happen? They're going to stop giving seller concessions. They're going to stop, everything's going to be above sticker. So the money that you think you're saving, you're not. It's going to be a mad rush. So hop in while everybody else is scared. Go to my website, www.applywithb. If you need special financing, that's what I do for a living. So that's where I made my teeth. Again, I wasn't everybody's first choice, but everybody, those who gave me a chance were surprised that I was, able to make things stick. So go to my website, www.applywithb.com. Also, at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media, all one word, Billionaire Loan Officer. You ready for a condo? Go to our website, HoustonCondoSales.com. Great website. You want to challenge my rates? Go to whatstodaysrates.com. Another great website. www.bullypalace.com. If you're into, if you got French Bulldogs, any pets, go to our website. Got some of the latest pet gear, everything that you need for pet accessories. Go to bullypalace.com. Also, at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media, and the Billionaire Loan Officer on YouTube. Go to right now. We got 3 new shows. Check it out. Lastly, you could call me 832-775-8357. You can call me 24/7 as long as it's about business. Call me and we could talk about discovery as far as if you're ready for real estate. I'll tell you exactly where you're at and what you need to do. Again, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. This was the Power of Ownership podcast. Look at it on the replays on YouTube, Facebook, so on and so forth. With that being said, we're going to take you out. Don't forget that God is a verb, and personal responsibility is your only savior. That, say peace.